The earth had grown weary, the hearts of men were veiled in shadows, and the words of the prophets were but echoes in forgotten valleys. Yet the promise still breathed, a quiet ember beneath the ashes of time. And when the appointed hour came, heaven bowed low to touch the dust. The Word, ancient and eternal, took flesh and dwelt among men. He was born not in palaces, but in a cradle of straw, beneath the song of shepherds and the gaze of the stars. The covenant had taken form, not as thunder, but as tenderness. As he grew, the Word spoke with the same voice that had once trembled through Sinai and shone in the hearts of the righteous. Blessed are the poor in spirit, he said, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. The mountains remembered that voice, the winds stilled to listen. For the lawgiver had become the law of love. Wherever he went, the covenant followed. The blind saw light, the broken stood, the unclean were called beloved. And those who had built walls of pride found their hearts laid bare. The Sabbath was made for man, he said, not man for the Sabbath. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. The old ways shook, and the new began to bloom. Yet the world did not understand him. The proud mocked what they could not fathom, and the jealous feared what they could not control. So the covenant, once again, was betrayed by the hands it came to heal. A crown of thorns, a cross of wood, and upon that tree, the promise was lifted high. But even in agony, the voice remained gentle. Father, forgive them, he said, they know not what they do. And heaven wept, the earth trembled, the veil was torn, and the old covenant ended with a cry. Yet, out of death came life. From the tomb rose the eternal word, brighter than dawn, stronger than death. The covenant was reborn, not of law and blood, but of spirit and grace. Then the voice spoke again, now within his followers. Love one another as I have loved you. This is my new covenant, not of commandments written in stone, but of hearts reborn in fire. And the Spirit descended like wind, resting upon them as tongues of flame. The covenant that once spoke to prophets now whispered through fishermen and shepherds, through mothers, widows, and the meek of the earth. The new law was not spoken in thunder but lived in gentleness, in forgiveness. For the Lord of the covenant had entered the soul of man, turning dust into light, sorrow into song. And the voice said, wherever 2 or 3 gather in my name, there I am. When you feed the hungry, you feed me. When you forgive, you heal the world. Thus the covenant became flesh in every generation, a living promise, moving through time like the tide. Empires fell, nations rose and vanished like mist, yet the covenant endured, carried in prayer, written in the tears of saints and the hymns of the humble. And in the far mountains of the east, the faithful still sang of it, the book of the covenant, the word that lives, the promise that breathes. It is not a story of the past, it is the heartbeat of eternity. For every time a heart forgives, and every time a soul returns to love, the covenant is renewed again. The old has passed away, behold, all things are made new. And the voice whispers still, this is my covenant, everlasting and unbroken. I will be their God, and they shall be my people. I will dwell among them, and love shall have no end. Thus the book of the covenant continues, from Eden to Calvary, from Calvary to every heart that dares to love again. For the promise never dies. It is the first word, the last word, and the breath between them.